Hey guys, today we're going to look at Windows 8, the dreaded Windows 8, and hopefully make some of the things that you'll see pretty much every day a little bit easier for you. So if you want to take a look here at the objectives, we're going to navigate the Metro page, add things to the taskbar, start menu, all that. You can read this on your own, just pause me. But for now, I'm going to exit out of this slideshow here, and I'm going to show you. So the very first thing is the Metro page, okay? Now you have a button on your keyboard called the Windows key. It has the universal Windows sign, and I'll show you what it looks like here. It looks just like this, okay? Looks like that. It's usually located in between Control and Alt on your keyboard. So that's your saving grace. If you ever are somewhere where you can't get out of, or you're just totally lost and confused, hit that key and you'll be brought out of it, and everything is good in the world again. So the very first thing I want to look at, I'm going to hit that key actually, and it brings me to something called the Metro page or the splash page. There's different references to it, but this is kind of what it looks like. And this is kind of the shift of where Windows is going. So we better get used to it and we better get familiar with it, okay? Now, I want to look at adding things to the taskbar. Now, the taskbar is this bar down here, okay? The start menu is going to be when you hit start, see, start, and this is the menu in the start menu. So, if I wanted Internet Explorer, okay, to be on my taskbar or my start menu, I'm going to right click on it, and then I'm going to either pin it to the taskbar or pin it to the start menu. Now you'll see that it's already on my start menu here, and I'll show you in a minute on how to find programs that you don't see here on your start menu. But again, this is the taskbar, the bar that goes down here with the start menu button on it. And the start menu is indeed this Metro page or splash page. So you'll see that I don't have everything I have on my computer right here. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is hit this little arrow. You see when I move the mouse, the arrow shows up, this little downward facing arrow. I'm going to click that and look at all this cool stuff that I have. So for one thing, let me go ahead and put some of the Adobe stuff in the start menu. Okay, so Adobe Illustrator, I'm going to go ahead and right click it. I'm going to pin it to the start menu. There we go. There's my Adobe Illustrator. Let me come back here and let's see. How about Adobe Acrobat Pro? Let's go ahead and pin that to the taskbar. Okay, let's right here. What do? I can't get out. I have nowhere to go. I'm just going to hit my Windows key on my keyboard. Brings me back to my start menu. Hit it one more time and I'm brought back to my desktop. And you'll see that Adobe Acrobat now appears on the taskbar right here. Isn't that great? Now, one of the other things that you need to be aware of in Windows 8 is that all of the corners of the screen are live touch centers. So that means that they'll do something. So you'll see that if I come over here to the right corner here, you'll see this bar. Now this bar is very important because this is going to show you how to shut down. It'll bring you to your start menu again if you hit start. If you want to shut down, we'll go to settings and it brings you to all these options. If I wanted to shut down, I just hit power and I can put it to sleep, I can restart it, I can shut it down. This is also the area where you'll be able to access the control panel. See the control panel here? This is a very important menu, but we're going to exit back out of this and we're going to come back again. And then I'm going to hit search. Now search is very, very important because it's hard to find some stuff a lot of the time, especially if you are unfamiliar with the splash page and it just looks like a bunch of colorful boxes. You want to know how to use this search feature. So, for instance, if I wanted to search for how about a calculator? See? I'm searching everywhere, by the way. You can limit your searching to do settings, file, web images, web videos, anything like that. I like to leave it on everywhere. Most people don't have enough on their computer where their computer will have to search through such a large, amount of files that it would just take a while. So I would just leave it on everywhere. And here's my calculator. I can go ahead and click that and it opens right up. It opened on my other screen. I apologize. So the next thing I want to show you is the split screen function. Now we have some really cool stuff here in Windows 8 as far as split screens. If you have one monitor, check this out. I'm just going to pull the calculator. I'm left clicking on the calculator and dragging it to one side of the screen. Oh, it doesn't look like the calculator will actually maximize like that. That's new for me. Well, let's show you with Excel. Okay, I'm just going to grab it, throw it to that side of the screen, and do you see how it automatically puts it in the middle of the screen, the center of the screen here? You can do that on both sides. Unfortunately, I can't demonstrate that with you because I have dual monitors, and if I bring this to the right side, it'll just throw over that way. So we don't want to do that. Now, the last thing, or one of the last things I want to look at with you, is the toolbar. A lot of people think that they can't do anything with the toolbar, or sometimes they move it, or I guess they call it the taskbar now. I'm sorry. You just right-click on the taskbar, and I'm going to unclick lock. If I unclick lock, that just means I can drag it. If I left-click, I can drag it to all sides of the screen here. This is just preferential stuff. I like to leave it on the bottom. It's kind of what I grew up with and what I'm used to. So I'm just going to go ahead and lock that taskbar once again. That's a neat little thing to know how to do. And one of the other things, I'm going to go ahead and minimize this, and we're going to open up a Word document here. Okay, so there's a couple of really neat hotkeys that you need to know, or that you should know. So the first one is Alt plus C. That's Control plus C. And you'll notice Control is the far left button on your keyboard. If you hold Control and press C, you're going to copy something. If you press Control and then V, that's paste. And then Control A is another one that I really think is important. That is the Select All feature. So watch what I do. See if you can follow along. I'm going to hit Control A. It selects everything in the document. I'm going to press Control C, and then to copy it, and then I'm going to press Control V, and it's going to paste it, and you'll see that I can paste it pretty much unlimitedly. Very cool hotkeys that you should know. I'll leave this list here for just a second so you can write it down. I'll even enlarge it for you. Now, the final thing that I want to go over, or the final hotkey I want to go over, is say I'm working hard, right, and I have all these tabs open you see in my internet browser, and then I'm switching back and forth through the tabs, I'm switching back and forth, and then accidentally I close out of one of them. Oh goodness no, right? How would I get back there? What am I supposed to do? If you hold Control, press Shift, and then press T, it will open your last closed browser tab, which is a very neat function, especially if you're like me and you have a million tabs open all the time. Very, very cool stuff. Now, the final thing is going to be your saving grace here, because I know how frustrating it can be when you're using apps in Windows 8. And apps are just kind of truncated versions of programs. Like if you have music here, this is an app. So if I click music, it's an app, blah, blah, blah. One thing you may want to know is that you can pull this and drag it down and get rid of it, and then it becomes active in the others or in the top left here. This one's kind of tricky to reach or to activate, so you're probably never going to deal with that. But the thing that I really want to show you is how to open your programs and your stuff in the non-app version of the program that opens it. So, for instance, I'm just going to show you how the app works. Photos is the app version of this, and this will be my photo viewer. And personally, I don't like this. I don't like using apps. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of this. And I'm going to show you, if you just right click on whatever picture or music file or document, whatever you're working with, you just right click it, press open with, and then go ahead and pick whatever you'd like. Personally, I like Windows Photo Viewer. Windows Photo Viewer is kind of what I'm used to, probably what many of you are used to. So using that is just better for me. It may not be for you, so don't feel obligated to have to use that. To set a default so that it always opens with Windows Photo Viewer, you just come over here, you right click, follow the same steps, going to open with, then choose default program, and then mine is already set to Windows Photo Viewer, so I don't really have to do anything, and it'll open up in Photo Viewer. This is a very, very brief introduction to Windows 8, but these are some of the things that people have problems with and that people have trouble navigating through. So I hope this helps you, and please let me know if you have any questions.